Yo, what's up, guys? This is Hot Streak Podcast. It's your boy Carlos in the building, and I'm not alone. What's good? Tell them where you at.
What it do? What it do? It's your boy Saif. I'm basically calling in from Pomona right now. We doing this thing.
Yeah. You already know what it is. So, first off, let's start you off with some NBA news, man. Safe. Bring them the first story.
Well, I'm gonna go. All right. So the NBA is changing a lot of things this year. One of them was the less back-to-back, so the star players could keep playing. So Adam Silver and the rest of the NBA team have been working on a lot of different changes. And now, what we just learned weekend was the NBA All-Star Game is not going to be East versus West anymore. It's going to be a two-captain game where two team captains will be. Wait, is that how it works, Carlos?
I think it's going to be two team captains that pick their teams, kind of like playground style basketball.
That's cool, man. That's like what we used to do, exactly, playground basketball.
Yeah.
I know I was always the last kid picked. No, I'm just kidding. But, definitely not the first kid picked. And that's pretty cool, though, because I want to see, like, who LeBron picks, What would be his team?
Yeah, I don't know. He picked the whole Warriors starting five.
Yeah, honestly, I do that. No, but that's pretty interesting. I'm not sure who's going to be the captain, but that's cool.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm pretty interested to see if they bring that in to play this season or if they do it next season. I'm pretty sure they'll start next season though.
Yeah, well, either way, I'm stoked. That's pretty cool. I didn't know when it started either, so that's cool. I'm pretty stoked about another new change that they're considering though, which is a new playoff system, which would be a total change. It would be pretty shocking to the league, and it would make a lot of changes if they did take it over. And I'll explain it right now. So basically, it's the same one that the WNBA has, and it's a playoff system where it's the top 16 teams in the league, regardless of their conference, could be playoffs. So let's say the best 16 teams in the league are in the East. Every single one of those teams will be in the playoffs, and there won't be a Western team.
Damn. So I was about to ask that, like, how would they distribute that? But that seems pretty fair.
Yeah, in some ways though, because there could be a Spurs versus the Warriors in the NBA final. That would be cool because otherwise that wouldn't have never happened, right?
Oh yeah, that's true.
But at the same time, what about the teams? Like, what team is going to vote for this that's not a top contending team? You know what I mean?
That's true.
Because, I mean, why else? Like, why else would you watch? Like, okay, so we have the East versus the West, and obviously the East is a weaker conference, right?
Yeah.
So why would these shitty Eastern Conference teams who usually have a pretty easy run to the playoffs and, their fan base is happy they made it to the playoffs. It's the only thing they have going for them. They know they're not going to go far, but they made it to the playoffs, right? So you take that away from them, and then they can't even do that. So, like, the East would be totally no Eastern teams except, like, maybe a couple. It would be a couple Eastern teams and a bunch of Western teams. And
That's
then
true.
those rest of those fan bases would be bored.
It would honestly be like 3 Eastern Conference teams and 13 Western Conference teams.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, I don't think those shitty Eastern Conference teams would want to vote that in. So I don't think that change would.
I like what they did, the seeding regardless of the division champion. Like there was no like higher seeding based on division. I think they took away division championships.
Oh yeah.
So that definitely brought in like a different aspect to the playoffs. I kind of like the way it's seeded right now, though. I don't really know how much better you could actually change it. I feel like it's pretty good right now. This
system that they're trying to do, I guess, would help get rid of those what's it called? Those like those teams that go on, the higher seeded teams versus the best teams, right?
Yeah.
Right away, so it would be like more competition, I guess, but At the same time, I don't know. It's a tricky situation, but it's pretty interesting that they're considering it and that they're making these crazy changes to the league.
Yeah, I agree. The new jerseys, the new teams, the new super teams, the new max contracts, everything in the NBA is changing. The whole league is evolving. Yeah, so let's bring you some unfortunate news. Rondo is actually injured. He's going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks with a sports hernia. He just had surgery on that. So there's a couple little setbacks for the Pelicans. But it doesn't look like it should be that long of an injury. Usually that is a short recovery time. So 46 weeks sounds like a pretty decent amount of time for him to be out. And then some big news for the Sixers, man.
Yeah, dude, the Sixers signed Joel Embiid. That's pretty crazy. That's a huge contract, $148 million for 5 years. And honestly, the guy's played like 3 games total in his career.
Seriously, he's played like a marginal amount of games. What do you think about that? When you see that on paper, when you see Embiid on paper, I feel like you think, okay, that's a good move. But his durability is definitely going to come into like play. Like how is he gonna stay on the court? Like what is he gonna do what is the team gonna do to ensure that he stays on the court and he's a healthy player for 82 games plus playoffs? Because I mean, honestly, that's what they're probably gonna make if he steps up and if Ben Simmons steps up with the young core that they have and the role players. I mean, they still got JJ Redick, so I mean they got a solid foundation to make a playoff push. But how is Embiid going to stay healthy is my question.
That's kind of one of the things, dudes. They have no idea. You know what I mean? Like, they're totally taking this risk as you do with any other player. The only difference is Embiid has a history of, being injured and unreliable when it gets down to it. And that's going to be a factor for sure, man. But I wonder how much of that money is guaranteed. But it's like, He's one of the players with the best potential in the league,
That's
especially
true.
at his position. So
it could
literally pay that money.
It could literally be him and Karl Anthony Towns dueling for the best center in the league in a couple of years.
Straight up,
because I think they're definitely the most talented big men in the league. You could throw in a Jokic from the Nuggets, who can also stretch the floor, and he's very creative in the offensive realm. But these 3 guys, like they're a new breed. They're a new breed of center.
Usually, by the way, we've been calling Jokic this whole time. I'm pretty sure I heard it on 2K the other day. Jokic.
There we go, Jokic. Hey, you know what? That's fine. You can go ahead and correct my Eastern European last names because I mean, obviously, I'm not a pro at that. But yeah, Jokic.
We respect our Eastern Europeans, though. Big shout out to all the Eastern Europeans out there.
Yeah, big shout out to the Baltic area. You already know.
Yeah. Hey, but Andrew Wiggins got a similar size contract, right? Like same amount of money.
Yeah, I think he got a 5-year,
like
50. True. Yeah, that's true. You know what? I think they're giving this contract was to show that Philadelphia has faith in Embiid, and now it's time for him to like put on the afterburners in the workout room, in the training room, like put in all those hours. Because the team is showing that they trust you, so you need to make end on your deal.
Straight up, he's like the face of that franchise right now.
Yeah, it definitely is the face of the
process.
The process. So some East. Let's stay in the Eastern Conference right here with this news. We had Dwayne Wade starting over J.R. Smith. So the Cavs' potential starting lineup this season is going to be as of opening day, is probably going to be Derrick Rose, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James. I think they said Richard Jefferson, and then Kevin Love playing the center.
Yeah, man, they got a super team for real.
They have a super team. Yeah, they got a super team. They got a super team past their prime super team, but definitely a team that could still make some noise.
With Jay Crowder coming off the bench, dude.
I forgot about him.
Oh my god, dude! Jay Crowder off the bench. You got Kyle Krover. You got
Channing Frye, Tristan Thompson.
Dude, it's just like there's a lot of ways they can make it happen. That's a solid like championship team through and through. It's not just like a few good players.
The only thing I think that they lack is someone who could play defense in the paint.
That's true.
If you have Kevin Love as your center, you're not going to get that much defense. You're definitely going to be able to
see how that works out, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just eager to see them play. You know, like it's going to be an interesting season the way they kick it off.
And don't sleep on D-Rose, man. I'm telling you,
he's definitely got a chip on his shoulder too.
Yeah, I just seen him cooking in the preseason right now too.
Yeah, we'll see. So. I'm eager to see everybody step up and see how the East matches up against the West and how the young teams in the West are trying to come up. But I got to roast somebody right now because I don't feel like this guy knows what he's talking about, and he has a job on ESPN. Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce, you a doofus, bro. What did he say? Paul Pierce does not. He just hates on everyone. He's hating on everyone. He doesn't care. He's calling out trash players left and right, which is like, okay, yeah, you got a championship ring. Okay, you didn't ride Ray Allen's 3-point shooting and Kevin Garnett's defense to that championship, but you know what I mean? Like, you did it all by yourself. He's saying Brandon Ingram's not gonna make that jump this year, and I don't know. I just feel like you're a Celtic. You're always going to throw your little 2 cents in there. You haven't been relevant for a while, so it's okay, Paul Pierce. But you're going to take that L. You're going to take that L, Paul Pierce. And,
I heard that criticism too, man. And I think some of it's valid, but at the same time, you think Brandon Ingram, like, we had these huge expectations for him. He did really good for, like, a young 18-year-old in the league for his rookie year. And he's a pretty small guy, like, size-wise.
Yeah,
not height-wise. Yeah, mass. And, like, he was doing great. We saw him in the preseason. He was killing it. And then, now in the in the summer league, he was killing it for that game he was in. He looked like he can make whatever he wants. He's getting kind of inconsistent right now with his shot. But I think he's going to be a great player still.
Yeah, I think he still averages 18 to 20 points a season. And he's either the top scorer on the team or just under the top scorer on the team. The top scorer on the team probably going to be Brook Lopez.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a learning curve for these young guys, all of them, Yeah. Randall, him. Randall's already in his third year. Third year?
Yeah, the thing with the Lakers is they have a lot of young talent. So it's going to be hard to mesh with the veterans that they have on the team, but it seems like they're going to get a lot of things done. Defensively, they need to work on it, but offensively, I think it's going to open up a lot more for them with the passing style that Lonzo plays with, and the different motion offenses that Luke is going to run. I definitely think that they're going to make a splash. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was funny. I was just watching Sports Center right now, and Chauncey Billups called out Luol Deng. Yeah,
dude. The thing is, Luol Deng did have a shitty year last year, career lows in every category. But I think I watched a couple of the preseason games. He looks like he's coming out with some energy. He looks a little bit healthier, stronger, faster. So hopefully,
I hope so.
Hopefully he
watch another minute of him playing.
Yeah. I couldn't stand looking at him play. But I think he'll make an impact on this team coming off the bench. And he's got that corner 3 down. I don't know if you've been watching that, but he's definitely legit from the corner.
I see it. I just need a little mo.
Yep. All right. Yep. So I think this is the end of the NBA segment. We're going to come back with a little bit more NFL news, World Cup qualifying news. So stay tuned. Keep it locked. This is Hot Streak.
Hey, how y'all doing? This is Saif, and you're listening to the Hot Street Podcast.
Welcome back to Hot Street Podcast, guys. We got some good NFL news and some bad NFL news, depending on who you're a fan of. But it was a good week for football. Definitely, Week 5 was a solid one. We got to see a lot of upsets. Carlos, what was the best game for you, Week 5? Be honest. You don't got to say it was a Packer game. You really don't.
All right, so well, I only saw one game this weekend because I was at that game. I went to the Oakland Raider Baltimore Ravens matchup in Oakland. Spur of the moment trip. It was dope. My aunt called me. She's like, "Yo, I got a ticket. Are you interested?" And I was like, "Yes, fam." So
yeah.
So I woke up at 6 a.m, actually like 5 a.m, to leave to Oakland at 6 a.m. on Saturday, and I watched the game on Sunday. So that was a great experience, I guess. It wasn't the best game. Could have I definitely needed to talk to the coaches after the game, see what the hell was going on. But that was a great game in my eyes, honestly. Like, it was dope because I was there. But I did see some scores, and I was like, this New England Tampa Bay game was a little close. This Charger New York game was a little close. And then I looked at the Packers and the Cowboys, and I was like, "Ooh, now that's a pretty high score." So I went and looked at those highlights, and I was definitely intrigued.
Yeah, man, it was a great game. Came down to the last few seconds. The Cowboys had made it was like going back and forth in the fourth quarter. The Cowboys scored to gain a lead of 3 points with a minute and like 10 seconds left on the clock in the fourth quarter. And Aaron Rodgers, man.
Mr. Clutch or Mr. Automatic?
He was both, let's just say, because whoever gave him a minute and 10 seconds and said, "Oh, okay, we're good. We won the game." You played yourself. Because when you play Aaron Rodgers, you better come correct. And the Cowboys, Dak Prescott, the coach, they didn't come correct. And, they paid the price. It's not their fault. But, they're the only ones to blame. So Aaron Rodgers just ran down the field like he always does. Like, there was no even defense there.
Seriously, it was like he was playing by himself.
Yeah, man. Mr. Clutch threw the most amazing touchdown to an amazing wide receiver named Devontae Adams. And it was a great catch. It was crazy.
And that's it. That was a wrap.
That's it, man. There's nothing they could do about it. Sorry to say. And we won 35-31. It was a good game. Yeah, and the Packers are 4-1 now. Let me just throw that out there.
So let's give them a quick rundown of the scores. The Colts beat the Niners 26-23. The Cincinnati Bengals beat the Buffalo Bills 20-16. Philadelphia Eagles beat the Arizona Cardinals 34-7.
Damn.
Chargers finally got their first win. They beat the Giants 27-22.
And I bet against them.
Yeah, me too. There was definitely some major injuries in that game, but we'll get to that a little bit later.
True.
Jacksonville.
This was a special game right here, though.
Jacksonville and Pittsburgh was an interesting box score right there. Jacksonville won 30-9.
30-9.
Yeah,
Jacksonville's defense is crazy.
Yeah, they're so good against the pass; it's ridiculous. Ben Roethlisberger threw 5 interceptions, 2 of which were returned for touchdowns. After the game, he was quoted by saying, "Maybe I just don't got it anymore." So, man, I don't know.
Damn, it's one of those games.
Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger is having like an awakening.
Blake Bortles usually kind of on the garbage side. He was 8 of 14 attempts and 95 yards. He did throw a pick, the classic Blake Bortles going out in style. But the running game was crazy. They had
Leonard Fournette had 2 touchdowns, right?
2 touchdowns, 181 yards, and 28 carries. So they're really run heavy right now. And then they have 2 other running backs, and one of them got 8 carries. So you already know they're just running the whole game, and the defense was scoring. It was a good game.
Then the Jets played against the against the Browns, the bottom of the barrel teams. Jets came out on top. So I think the Jets have 3 wins.
Dude, the Jets are 3-2 right now. That's crazy.
That is crazy. I think they lead the division. They're tied with New England.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts, man. Definitely didn't see that coming.
Yeah, and
we'll see if they're contender or pretender.
Definitely pretender. Then we had Carolina versus Detroit. I think Carolina had a large lead, and then Detroit tried to make a comeback, but came up a little bit short, 27-24. And then Miami beat Tennessee. Tennessee is just on a downward spiral right now.
Jesus.
They just crashed and they burned.
What's that to say?
That matchup that I saw, Baltimore beat the Raiders 30-17. The defense looked atrocious in this game. I don't know. Something needs to be done. I'm calling the front office tomorrow. I need to speak to Reggie McKenzie and everyone at the front office because this is not to be tolerated much longer. The good thing is Derek Carr is set to make a return next week against I almost said San Diego Chargers. Los Angeles Chargers. So hopefully the offense can get back on track there, but the defense definitely needs to step up and definitely needs to make some noise next week because the season is on the line.
Yeah.
And then we had Seattle versus the Rams, which I did not expect this score. I did not expect Seattle to come out on top with a 16-10 score. I guess that was the battle of the defenses. And then obviously the Green Bay Dallas game 35-31. And then the Sunday night game, another interesting score, box score, 34-42. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the Houston Texans. And Kansas City's looking like a team that cannot be stopped. The only person who's going to be able to stop them is their quarterback. But I don't know, man. This team is very talented on paper and off paper. Obviously, we can see the scores.
They're 5-0.
They're the only undefeated team in the league. So
they're serious.
Yeah, they're looking like a serious contender. We won't know until the end of the season how that goes. But the Monday night game, the Vikings and the Bears. This game was 3-2 at the half.
Yeah.
This game was ridiculous. We did see some pretty good highlights though in the second half. They had a couple of trick plays. A punter threw a touchdown pass. The issue with the Chicago Bears is they're not going to be able to close out games if they don't give their young quarterback opportunities. Too many penalties on their end there. But Minnesota started the game with Sam Bradford as quarterback, ended the game with Case Keenum as quarterback. So it looks like Sam Bradford did re-aggravate his injury. So not good news if you're a Vikings fan. Perfect segue into this next topic here. We had some major injuries this week in the NFL. Astronomical Armageddon type injuries for some teams. So earlier, Saif was talking about the Chargers and the Giants game and what happened there. Saif, you want to give them a rundown on why the Chargers were able to close out their first win?
Yeah, it's pretty much the only reason you'd expect the Chargers to get a win. Practically the other team, got injured, the whole team. I think it was 4 receivers on the Giants, including Odell and Brandon Marshall and Sterling Shepard, all got injured. Odell and Brandon Marshall for sure season ending. So if you're a Giants fan, I'm sorry. And if you're a Chargers fan, this win was a fluke. No offense. But, yeah, it's really sad to see, along with who else? J.J. Watt got injured.
Yeah, J.J. Watt's done for the season.
Jeez, man, some major injuries.
Yes.
Huge.
Also, the fourth receiver for the Giants is also done for the season. Dwayne Harris.
Yeah. Oh, man. I don't even know what to say. That's just horrible. Yeah, never wish an injury on a player. I don't care what team they're on, It's just like, especially season ending. It's just...
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate. I believe that's pretty much it for the injuries, all the major injuries. I know that there's a couple of teams that have some players injured. The Panthers have Kurt Coleman, their starting safety. He's going to be out for a month with a sprained knee. And they made some moves in free agency, signed somebody to replace him on the roster for a little bit of time. I know the Raiders had a little bit of an injury bug this week. A couple of the defensive
What's that Derek Carr update?
Oh, yeah. Derek Carr is going to be back this week. He's expected to start on Sunday against the Chargers. His prognosis or his original diagnosis was 2 to 6 week recovery time, but 2 days after that they announced that, he was on the practice field. So he was practicing last week, went through limited reps with the first team because they were definitely trying to get EJ Manuel ready, who actually did have a good start. He did have a good game. They just dug themselves in a hole the early first 5 minutes of the game. So, but Derek Carr's going to be back this week. And hopefully the Raiders offense can get on top of it because they are definitely lacking that explosiveness.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. Other than the Chiefs being 5-0 and dominating the NFL right now, we got a little bit of news regarding Adrian Peterson. And you'll probably be happy if you're a Saints fan because they just traded him to the Cardinals. He wasn't really producing for the Saints.
No, I think they had him
I don't think he liked being there.
Yeah, he had like 2 carries per game or something.
Yeah, I really don't think he was even enjoying his time there, but it is what it is. We'll see how he does. It'll give him a new start, kind of, even though he just had one.
Yeah.
Give him another new start.
And
it's all good.
And the Cardinals are going to utilize him because he fits their scheme, and they also need the run to balance out the passing West Coast offense that they run. So hopefully it works out for him. I'd like to see him make the Cardinals a better team, just because I don't really have any beef with the Cardinals, honestly. Like, I think there's a lot of good players on that team that I do enjoy watching, like Larry Fitzgerald and David Johnson and such. Carson Palmer, ex-Raider, USC product. He's had a long career riddled with injuries, but he's been one of the most consistent players in the league, aside from all the injuries. So, I mean, if they could make a push, that'd be crazy. But
much respect to him.
But at the same time, they are in the NFC, who does come up against Aaron Rodgers. So, I don't know if they're ready for that.
True. Hey, let's give them that Week 6 preview. And we're going to pick out the winners and the losers of each game. And we'll start with our Thursday night game, which is going to be hopefully a good one. It's the Panthers versus the Eagles. These are 2 pretty good teams. One of them's 4-1. I'm not sure how the Eagles are doing. But,
the Eagles are 4-1 too.
Oh, really? Okay, 2 4-1 teams. Damn.
These are the top teams in their divisions. The Eagles, with the young quarterback and a very interesting defense that lacks depth in the secondary, but gets to the quarterback really quick, so that helps them out. And they established a run game this past week, I think. So I don't know. Eager to see the.
Who you got?
Oh man, this is a tough one. Honestly, I'm gonna pick. I'm
going with Panthers just because they have the experience in my eyes.
I was going to go with the Panthers just because they're at home.
Yeah, that's true. Another thing right there.
Yeah.
All right, well, what do you got on the Bears and the Ravens?
Ooh, the Bears and the Ravens. I think the Ravens are gonna beat the Bears.
The
agree, Ravens,
just because I saw what they did to Oakland.
Yeah, I think that they have some room to work with on their offense, and their defense played pretty well. So, yeah, I'm gonna pick the Ravens.
All right, we got the Packers versus the Vikings. It's a rivalry game in Minnesota. I got the Packers.
I got the Packers for sure. The Vikings can't seem to get a break with all these injuries.
Yeah, they're really kind of dysfunctional right now.
Yeah.
Not their fault, but it is what it is. We got the 49ers versus the Redskins. Take the Redskins.
Yeah, I'm taking the Redskins on this one.
Any second of the day. And then we got the Lions versus the Saints.
I'm going to pick the Lions.
I'll go with the Saints.
I'm going to pick the Lions just because I think they're going to bounce back after a tough loss.
I think Matt Stafford had like a minor hamstring injury.
Did he?
He might, he's considered day-to-day, but he might be back in time for the game. I just don't know, like, other than that, I would pick the Lions because, Matt Stafford. But then again, you can't bet against Drew Brees.
That's true. He throws darts left and right.
Yeah, no matter how they do, he's throwing 300 yards.
Oh, battle for the division lead here. We got the Patriots against the Jets.
Ooh, I got the Patriots, man, for sure.
If you take the Jets, you got some balls. But yeah, I'm gonna pick the Patriots on this one just because who are the Jets?
Yeah, straight up, the pretenders.
Yeah, and then we got the Browns versus the Houston Texans. Yeah.
Wait. No, I'm going Browns. I saw Myles Garrett get 2 sacks in his debut, bro.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about him.
The Browns.
You're going to pick the Browns away on the road at Houston. Okay, I'm picking the Texans just because Deshaun Watson is the real deal.
Oh, my God. You're right. Deshaun Watson's crazy, honestly.
Yeah, and And the Browns, they don't have an offense. So,
Yeah. Hey, man, you got to try to give them some,
Yeah, just not this week, man.
You got the Bucks versus the Cardinals.
You know what? I'm gonna pick the Bucks.
Go with the Bucks as well. How about Dolphins versus?
Maybe if Adrian Peterson makes his debut, it'll throw off the Buccaneers. That's gonna be a toss up, but
I'll go with the Bucks.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bucks.
How about the Dolphins and the Falcons? I'll go with the Falcons.
Yeah, easy pick for the Falcons right there.
And then we got the Rams versus the Jaguars.
I'm feeling the Rams just because the Jaguars, you never know what you're gonna get with them.
That's really true. That's really true. I'm not saying you do with the Rams, but you know what? I'm gonna go with the Jags. I'm going with Jags. And then we have a pretty easy one here, but honestly, it could be a toss up if Derek Carr isn't back. The Raiders versus the Chargers.
I'm picking the Raiders. They're at home.
Yeah.
The Chargers seem to choke. I don't know, man. I just can't. I can never pick the Chargers, honestly.
No, I mean, yeah, they're proven. Don't ever pick them.
Yeah. Then we have the Chiefs against the Steelers. The Chiefs are probably going to win, but I hope the Steelers pull off an upset.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Chiefs will win too, but the Steelers, they have a lot of weapons. I just don't know what's going on with them right now.
I think they need to run the ball, dude. Honestly,
they do. But I mean, they have Antonio Brown and some decent receivers, and Ben Roethlisberger. They should be doing all right.
That's true, but without running the ball, it's going to be too predictable.
Yeah, it is what it is. I got the Chiefs. We got the Giants versus the Broncos.
That's going to be the most embarrassing game for any Giants fan.
Yeah,
they're going to get decimated
on this one. Don't go to that game if you're a Giants fan.
Yeah, stay home.
Face. Yeah, we got the Colts versus the Titans. I'm going with
the Colts if Andrew Luck plays.
Yeah, he's ruled out.
Is he ruled out?
Yeah,
I'm still going with the Colts because the Titans don't have a quarterback.
That's true. Yeah, I'll go with the Colts too, just because that's a weird one. Usually I'd take the Titans, but you're right, no quarterback. And that's pretty much it for week 6.
The teams with the bye this week are the Bills, the Bengals, the Cowboys, and the Seahawks.
Nice. So all you fantasy dudes out there, just know.
Sit them.
And
sit everyone from the Cowboys.
If you want, pick up a target or a wide receiver for the Giants, and it might be good. Who knows? I mean, he'll probably get a lot of targets, so try that out.
Yep.
We got a lot of soccer news coming. We got some good music coming. I think that's the end of the NFL segment, unless Carlos has anything else to say.
Nope, you right, bro. You right.
Yep, I predicted it. All right, guys, we'll be right back.
This ain't no hot links. This is no hot chicks. It's Hot Street Podcast, man.
Yo, and we're back on Hot Street Podcast, and you already know you listened to those great tunes during the break. But now we got some more news for you. We got some World Cup qualifying news for you. So the World Cup is next summer, and it's in Russia. And today, earlier this week, it was the last round of qualifying that did not require a playoff. So we had some teams that were on the brink of elimination. Argentina was looking like they were not going to qualify. They needed a miracle. And the game started off 38 seconds in, and they get scored on. So they're losing 1-0 in the first minute of the game to Ecuador. So everything is breaking loose in Argentina. People are lighting their cars on fire. They don't know what to do with themselves. Messi not in the World Cup. Oh my God, what's going to happen? And the man who had his back against the wall the whole round of qualifying decided, you know what? Let's score a hat trick and qualify for the World Cup. So Messi scored a hat trick and pulled Argentina into Russia, basically dragged them across the finish line, because Argentina seems to not be able to play with, no matter how many world-class players they have, dude, they cannot seem to play well on the national team with Messi. So I don't know what's going to happen in the World Cup next summer, but it's going to be pretty cool to see Messi there. And then Brazil actually helped out Argentina with their win. They beat Chile 3-0, so that bumped Chile out of any sort of qualification for the World Cup. So you're not going to see Alexis Sanchez there next summer. Colombia qualified today with the tie against Peru, who also got placed into a playoff versus New Zealand. So those two teams are going to play later on, and that's going to determine who makes the final push for the spot in the World Cup. And then we'll go to the CONCACAF region. So that's the North American, Central American region. We had a couple of games that relied on each other's score to qualify. So Mexico already qualified, and they played Honduras. Honduras was playing for a chance to win, or they were playing to win so they could qualify, but they also needed Trinidad to beat the United States, and they needed Panama to beat Costa Rica. So Panama ends up beating Costa Rica. Panama qualifies. Honduras beats Mexico 3-2. So Honduras qualified, and there was only one more match left. Trinidad versus the United States. And surprisingly, as many U.S. fans, they were very arrogant today when I was speaking to earlier this week before the game aired. A lot of people were very overly confident. Oh, Trinidad and Tobago, man, they're not going to beat us. We're going to win. Easy peasy, lemon, whatever. And you know what? They ended up dropping the ball here, man. Trinidad beat them 2-1. So that left the U.S. on the outside looking in. And conspiracy theories were flying left and right. The U.S. did not want to qualify on purpose because they didn't want to go to Russia because of the whole Russian-U.S. bullshit that's going on politically in the U.S. right now, and all this hysteria. I don't know. A lot of the ESPN commentators, former national team members, they just dug in, man. They let it rip on the U.S. and honestly, it's pretty disgraceful. They just went back 30 years in U.S. soccer. Like, they got to start from the ground up. I don't think any of these players on this national team, besides Christian Pulisic and other young guys, deserve to be on the national team anymore. They need to retire. It's a disgrace. Clinton Dempsey, you're supposed to be a leader. Where were you? Michael Bradley, same thing. What the heck? You guys let everyone down. So, yeah, let's go away from the U.S. a little bit. Uruguay also qualified. They beat Bolivia, so they're in. France qualified. They beat Belarus. They're in. And Portugal also qualified. So we're gonna be able to see Cristiano Ronaldo potentially going up against Leo Messi in the World Cup this summer. That's exciting. Overall, I think Portugal is probably the better team because Argentina is complete trash. But so there's 23 teams that have qualified, and there's only 9 places that remain. Some key figure points for this is we have the European playoffs are scheduled for December 17th. So we'll know when the European playoffs... that's the draw. That's not the games. They're going to draw teams to see which teams play against each other for a place in the World Cup. So there's still another group that needs to qualify. There's 9 teams that still need to qualify. That's going to be held on December 17th. And then the draw for the finals will happen on December 1st. They'll pit all the teams that are already qualified. They'll put them in groups, and that's going to happen on December 1st. And the opening game is on June 14th, and the final game is July 15th. So there's 32 teams that are going to qualify, and the playoffs will be announced by all the teams will be announced by November 14th that have qualified. A lot of dates thrown around there, but yeah. So we still got a couple steps left on the groups for World Cup friendlies leading up to the World Cup. So keep it locked with that. If you're looking for more information on your national teams, just go ahead and check on ESPN or check on their websites. I know that a lot of the teams are going to be announcing friendlies pretty soon, just to prepare for the World Cup, because I know that there's a lot of tactics that go into it. So
I'm tripping out that Iceland made it.
Oh yeah, Thanks for bringing that up.
Crazy.
Iceland is the smallest country by population to qualify for the World Cup. I think they have just under
330,000, the size of Anaheim, the population of Anaheim.
Really? That's how big Iceland is?
300,000 population.
Wow, that's crazy.
A little over. Under 350,000. That's ridiculous.
Not Africa. Australia barely beat out Syria. Syria was trying to make a playoff push. That's the closest they've ever been to making a World Cup. So
really?
Yeah, even though they lost, congratulations. Egypt qualified. Egypt qualified on the wings of Mohamed Salah. This guy, he plays on Liverpool. He has been having a great season so far, and I mean he's definitely pulled his country out to the biggest stage so they can compete.
That's what they do. That's what real men do.
Notable absentees from the World Cup this year. Obviously the U.S. It's the first time they haven't qualified since 1986, and then the Netherlands also didn't qualify. The Netherlands, I just want to say that's karma. No era penal. No era penal. So there you go. That's what you get. Robin's actually retiring from the national team as well. I want to do predictions, but we don't have the full 32 teams. So I feel like we can't have any prediction, but
will we have it by next week?
You know what? I don't think so. I think we'll have to wait on the predictions for the World Cup. But my early pick for a team that I think that could cause a lot of damage, I think Spain, Brazil, and France definitely have a lot of firepower on their teams. So it's gonna be a really good tournament, man. I'm really excited. I always look forward to these tournaments, and it's gonna be great.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be sick. Can't wait for the World Cup next summer, right? 2018.
2018.
Hey, those are the best summers.
I just got to let my boss know that I'm not going to be there for a month. I'm going to be watching all the games.
Straight up.
He's like,
By
the way, I'm in Russia.
Real quick. I'll be back.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, I think that's pretty much it. We got this weekend coming up with some more international league soccer. It's going to be the return of some teams back into the race for the league championships. We have Barcelona coming back versus Barcelona plays on Saturday.
Yeah.
Against Atletico Madrid. So that should be a nice contest. And then we have Real Madrid versus Getafe. And definitely I'm just pulling up the Premier League schedule. I know this schedule is pretty rocky. On Saturday, we have Liverpool versus Manchester United, so that should be a decent game. Both teams Liverpool's in shambles right now. They've lost the last 3 games. Manchester United's on a push for the title, so they're definitely looking to keep that going. Chelsea versus Crystal Palace, Manchester City versus Stoke City, Tottenham versus Bournemouth, and Arsenal versus Watford. So yeah, the Premier League definitely gonna have some good games. I don't know if you know anything about the Premier League, Safe, but there is always great games in the Premier League. You can watch the shittiest teams play each other, but you'll see a lot of highlights.
That's tight.
Yeah.
I mess with that.
So the French league right here, we got Paris Saint-Germain versus Dijon. And then Monaco plays on Friday, October 13th. They play Lyon on that day. So those are the top 2 teams in the French league. Then we have the German Bundesliga. Bayern Munich just fired their coach. So they replaced their coach with one of the coaches from, I think it was 2013, where they won the treble. They won the German Cup, the German League, and the UEFA Champions League. So they're looking to bounce back. They play FC Freiburg on Saturday, and Borussia Dortmund plays Leipzig. I don't know. My German is not that great. So yeah, just keep a lookout on this weekend. A lot of good teams playing. A lot of teams trying to make a push for the title race. So I'm eager to see some soccer. I know Saif might not feel the same way, but I hope one day he does.
Dude, I love soccer. I'm a horrible soccer fan right now. I'm consumed by everything else.
The good thing about soccer, dude, is that it's on the weekends and it's early.
Yeah, you know me, man. You know what I do on the weekends early. I'm always waking up super late. I'm always doing something else.
Get it together, Saif. Do it for
I need to get
streak.
it together. It's gonna be my new Year's resolution or whatever, or mid-year resolution.
You're gonna wait till 2018 to make this resolution?
Yes, because otherwise, it doesn't have the same meaning. But
I feel you.
Yeah, are we done with do you got any more soccer news?
Nah, man, that's pretty much it. It's time to close this episode out.
For sure. You know I can't go without doing my little what's it called? My little follow me on Instagram at SafeK94 and on Hot Streak, on Instagram also follow Hot Streak at Hot Streak Podcast. On Twitter, Hot Streak Pod, POD. Follow CRP Shows on Instagram. That's the producer of our show. He's got other cool shows. You guys should check him out. Yeah, Carlos, give him your little tings, bro.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at chef_CGod and on Twitter at Tupac's Love Child. And just keep it locked for more things coming. We got, as you guys know, I'm part of the Rodriguez Show as well, so we definitely got some more news coming. And keep it locked, man. Keep listening to Hot Streak. Let us know what you think. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. You already know what it is, yo.
This was a Cesar Rodriguez production. Check out more at crpshows.com.